Hello everyone, welcome to Chem Analysis. In today's lecture, we will discuss about homogeneous hydrogenation of unsaturated carbon-carbon bond, that is olefin or alkyne. And in this part, we will mainly discuss about Wilkinson catalyst, that is a rhodium-based catalyst, ruthenium-based catalyst, and another is Crafts catalyst, which is a iridium-based catalyst, and these catalysts will be used for homogeneous hydrogenation of olefin or alkyne. There will be alkyne also. And we will also discuss about a very important reaction, that is Shoji-Wilkinson decarbonylation. And in this video, I will first mainly discuss about Wilkinson catalyst and this Shoji-Wilkinson decarbonylation, and if time permits, then we will discuss about these two reagents also. So let's start this discussion. Now, before going to main discussion, we will first discuss about what is homogeneous catalysis and there is another type of catalysis, that is heterogeneous catalysis. The basic and main difference between these two catalyses is in homogeneous catalysis the catalyst and the reagent, that is on which hydrogenation will be performed, that is olefin or alkyne, will be in same phase. On the other case, in heterogeneous catalysis, the catalyst and the reagent will be in different phase. Though it is advantageous in respect of catalyst separation and reuse, but that is not efficient in this case. But if we think about reaction efficiency, and the reaction efficiency for heterogeneous catalysis will be less in comparison to homogeneous catalysis, since in case of heterogeneous catalysis the reaction is taking place at the surface of the catalyst, and since there is less surface area for reaction to happen in respect to homogeneous catalysis, since in this case the catalyst and the reagents are in the same medium, that is same phase, and they will get more active space for reaction. Now here all the three hydrogenation catalysts are homogeneous catalysts. Now if we discuss about Wilkinson catalyst, that is rhodium based catalyst, and it is RHCl PPH3 whole 3. Here rhodium is in +1 state, that is it is 16 electron complex. Since rhodium 1, that means it contributes 8 electron, and here all the 4 ligands will contribute 2 electron each, so there will be 8 electron for 4 ligands, and it is 16 electron complex, and it is square planar. That means dsp2 hybridization, and the complex is diamagnetic. Since 8 electron will be filled in the 4d orbital, and 1d orbital should be used in hybridization, so there will be no unpaired electron and the complex will be diamagnetic. And this Wilkinson catalyst can be prepared from rhodium chloride hydrate, which is treated or reacted in presence of excess triphenyl phosphine ligand in ethanol solvent under refluxing condition. It will generate the corresponding ReCl PPH3 complex. Since in this reaction rhodium 3 is reduced to rhodium 1 and triphenyl phosphine will be oxidized from plus 3 to plus 5, that is it will generate phosphine oxide, sorry, POPH3. Here the oxygen state of phosphorus is plus 5. Now let's see the mechanism for hydrogenation in presence of Wilkinson catalyst, and there is two probable mechanism for hydrogenation of olefin using Wilkinson catalyst. Let's see both the two mechanism. This is one of the possible mechanism, and the another mechanism I will discuss after this. Here we can see that rhodium 1 is 16 electron complex. At first it will eliminate one triphenyl phosphine ligand to form this trigonal planar complex where rhodium is plus 1 and it is 14 electron complex, and after that it will undergo oxidative addition with hydrogen to form such 5 coordinated complex, and the addition of hydrogen will be cis since it is non-polar. As we know that the oxidative addition of a polar molecule will proceed through anti-addition, that is trans addition, and addition of a non-polar molecule will be cis. So these two hydrogen atoms are cis, and here rhodium is in plus 3 state and it is 16 electron complex, and in this coordinatively unsaturated rhodium complex the olefin will get attached and form a coordination with the metal center, and the rhodium 3 will get converted to 18 electron complex due to addition of this pi electron of olefin. And next step is the rate determining step, that is the insertion of this olefin within a rhodium hydrogen bond, and this will form such complex 5 coordinate complex, and one hydrogen will transfer to one olefin, and that carbon there will be a formation of rhodium carbon bond, and after that the reductive elimination between alkyl and hydrogen will give the corresponding alkane and will regenerate the tri-coordinated rhodium based catalyst, which will again undergo the catalytic cycle. Now this is the one possible mechanism. There is another possibility that before the elimination of triphenyl phosphine ligand from this Wilkinson catalyst, since it is a 16 electron complex and it is prone to oxidative addition, and the rate for oxidative addition with hydrogen from this complex will be higher than from this complex, since it is 14 electron complex and less electron rich in comparison to this 16 electron complex, so oxidative addition in this complex will occur in faster rate in comparison to this one. Let's see the second possible mechanism. Here we can see that the oxidative cis addition of this hydrogen with this rhodium complex will generate such 18 electron complex. There two hydrogen atoms are cis, and in later a triphenyl phosphine ligand elimination and the saturation of coordination by the solvent molecule present in the reaction medium will form such 18 electron complex. Since both solvent and triphenyl phosphine ligand is 2 electron donor, so the electron around the rhodium center will be remain same, that is 18 electron, and this complex can also be formed in this way, that is first a triphenyl phosphine ligand elimination and coordination saturation by the solvent molecule present in the reaction medium to form this 16 electron complex, and with this 16 electron complex after oxidative addition of hydrogen will form such 18 electron complex. Next there will be substitution of this solvent molecule by olefin, and it is also 2 electron donor, so the complex will be 18 electron complex. And next, in the rate determining step, the insertion of this olefin within a rhodium hydrogen bond to form such metal alkyl complex, and here the coordination is also is again satisfied by the solvent molecule to form the remain the complex as 18 electron complex. And in the last step, the reductive elimination will form the corresponding alkane by reductive elimination of this alkyl group and hydrogen, and will regenerate the 16 electron complex that can again continue the catalytic cycle. Here, from the rate determining step, we can see that the olefin is getting inserted between the rhodium and hydrogen bond. So, the steric effect of this bulky triphenyl phosphine ligand will play a role in the migratory insertion of this olefin within this rhodium hydrogen bond, and for this reason it is observed that mono or disubstituted olefin get hydrogenated faster in comparison to tri or tetrasubstituted olefin, since in tri and tetrasubstituted olefin there will be more steric crowding with the alkyl group of the olefin and this bulky triphenyl phosphine ligand, and the migratory insertion in that case will be slower. For that reason, the rate of hydrogenation for the more substituted olefin with Wilkinson catalyst occurs slowly. Now, if we see the rate of hydrogenation for different substituted olefin, then we can see this is the relative order of hydrogenation for differently substituted olefin. We can see that monosubstituted olefin is hydrogenated in faster rate and tetrasubstituted olefin hydrogenated in very slower rate. And this is the order, that is monosubstituted is fastest, and then among the disubstituted, the geminal disubstituted alkene will be hydrogenated faster in comparison to vicinal disubstituted olefin, and between cis and trans, cis will be hydrogenated faster than trans. After that, the trisubstituted olefin, and the least active for hydrogenation with Wilkinson catalyst is tetrasubstituted olefin. And here I want to mention one thing, that is the addition of hydrogen to a olefin is stereospecific cis addition. Now let's explain this point first with some example, then we will discuss about many more example given here. That is the stereochemistry of hydrogenation of olefins or alkynes using Wilkinson catalyst result in sine addition products. That is, if we try to deuteration of cis dicarboxylic acid, that is it is maleic acid, then we will end up with meso dideutyrated alkane. And if we try the deuteration with trans substituted acid, that is fumaric acid, then we will end up with a racemic mixture of dideutyrated alkane. Since the addition is cis, and in this case the deuteration can occur from above the plane or from below the plane, and the probability of addition from above the face of the alkene or below the face is same, and thereby resulting in a racemic mixture. Since the addition of deuterium from above the plane will result a enantiomer of the product that is generated from the attack of deuterium from below the plane. These will be the different two products and they are enantiomer to each other, and since the probability of addition is same from both the face, so the ratio of both the two enantiomer will be same and they will contribute a racemic mixture. Is it okay? But in this case the addition from above the plane or below the plane will result in meso compound, and for that reason we can say that the addition of deuterium or hydrogen, that is hydrogenation of olefin, occurs through the cis addition of hydrogen. And on the other case, if we react a alkyne in presence of Wilkinson catalyst, then we'll end up with cis alkene. That means we can say that the addition of hydrogen is syn addition. Now let's discuss about the different example for Wilkinson catalysis hydrogenation. Here let's see the first example. Here we can see that there is two type of double bond. One is disubstituted and another is trisubstituted. And as I said previously, that less substituted olefin will get hydrogenated faster than the more substituted olefin. So this olefin, less substituted olefin, will get hydrogenated, keeping this olefin as intact. So this will be the product for this reaction. And similarly for the second case, since this olefin is less substituted, it will be hydrogenated, keeping this olefin as intact. Now the latter case is of cis and trans. This is cis olefin, and sorry, here both are cis, so I am drawing it as trans. Since both are cis and both are doubly substituted, so reactivity cannot be differentiated. And if there is one cis double bond and one is trans double bond, then as I said previously, that cis olefin will get hydrogenated faster than the trans olefin. So here this olefin will be hydrogenated, keeping this as intact. 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4. So this will be the product. I have drawn this carbon chain like this, since after hydrogenation it will be saturated carbon-carbon bond, and since it will be single bond, there will be rotation along the carbon-carbon single bond, so the carbon chain can attain this orientation. Now this is the case of olefin reactivity difference between olefin and alkyne. Now if there is one terminal olefin and terminal alkyne, then the reactivity of terminal alkyne will be greater than the terminal olefin for hydrogenation using Wilkinson catalyst. So terminal alkyne will be hydrogenated, keeping this olefin as intact, and the selectivity for alkyne hydrogenation can be enhanced by using polar protic solvent as a co-solvent. Here it is used 2,2,2 trifluoroethanol. It is a polar protic solvent. So 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. Now if within a compound there is two type of olefin, that is one is conjugated, that is these two olefins are conjugated with each other, and one is isolated, this is isolated olefin, so there will be hydrogenation of isolated olefin. It is also very important, so this will be the product. Now if we see about the diastole selectivity of Wilkinson hydrogenation with this olefin, here since it is non-bonded type molecule and there is endophase and exophase, this phase is endo phase, that is this hydrogen is endo hydrogen, and this phase, equatorial phase, is exo phase. This is exo hydrogen. Now during the hydrogenation of this type of olefin, there should be formation of alkyl metal complex as I shown in mechanism, that is there will be such alkyl rhodium complex, and such type of alkyl rhodium complex will be formed by the exo-adduct of Wilkinson catalyst, and if there is endo-adduct, then the complex Wilkinson catalyst should arrive from the endo phase, and there will be formation of such alkyl rhodium complex. These are the ligand which will just satisfy the coordination of the metal center. I have just shown like this, and in this case the rhodium metal center is attacking from the endo phase, and during this endo attack the triphenyl phosphine ligand will face steric repulsion with this ethyl group, and for that reason this attack will not be favorable. But in this case the exo attack is favorable, since there is no such repulsion with bulky ethyl group with the triphenyl phosphine ligand on the rhodium center. So this attack will be favorable, and after this attack and reductive elimination from this complex will lead to the formation of corresponding endo product. Since the attack is happening exo, so the product resulted from this will be endo. So this will be the major product, and in this case the attack is happening endo, but the product resulted will be exo. But since this attack is not favorable, this exo product will be very trace amount, and this is the major product. Is it okay? It is a very important point regarding the diastereoselectivity of Wilkinson hydrogenation. Now this example, it is similar to cis and trans olefin. Here we can see that this is cis and this is trans. So cis olefin get hydrogenated faster than the trans olefin. So this double bond will be hydrogenated, and this will be the final product. Here another important thing, that no other functional group, that is carbonyl, hydroxyl or O-acetyl or ester group, is hampered by this Wilkinson catalyst. It is also seen that in Wilkinson hydrogenation condition, the functional group like ester, NO2 or sulfur containing group is remain intact, that is not hampered by the hydrogenation condition. So in this case, in this hydrogenation condition, we have seen that only this double bond is hydrogenated, and similarly in this case also only double bond is hydrogenated and NO2 remains as intact, and in sulfur containing compound no dehydrogenolysis occurs and only double bond get reduced. So such functional group tolerance is very important for the synthesis of large complex molecule or drug molecule. And here we can see that both the double bond is doubly substituted, but with this double bond there is the attachment of one polar group. So in Wilkinson hydrogenation condition, there will be hydrogenation of this olefin which is near to the polar group, and this reactivity mainly arises due to better coordination of the Wilkinson catalyst with this olefin in presence of such polar group. That is, there will be some coordination with this polar group with the Wilkinson catalyst that will help to coordinate the Wilkinson catalyst with this olefin and hydrogenate this olefin. So this will be the product. And if there is carbonyl group, this will be also remain intact and hydrogenation will occur only at the terminal double bond. Till now, we have discussed about functional group tolerance in Wilkinson hydrogenation process. Now, if the substrate contain aldehyde group, that is aldehydic carbonyl, and if it is treated with Wilkinson catalyst, then it is observed that there is, instead of hydrogenation, there is decarbonylation, that is elimination of carbonyl group. And similarly, there is also observed that in case of acyl chloride, if we treat it in presence of Wilkinson catalyst, then there is also decarbonylation and formation of halide. And in these cases, R can be alkyl, aryl or alkenyl. That is, alkenyl means it can be alpha beta unsaturated carbonyl group, that is alpha beta unsaturated aldehyde, and if it is treated in presence of Wilkinson catalyst, there is formation of such olefinic compound by decarbonylation. Is it okay? And this type of reaction in presence of Wilkinson catalyst first discovered by Suji group, and from the name of the discoverer, this reaction is known as Suji-Wilkinson decarbonylation reaction. Now, if we see the mechanism, then similarly to Wilkinson catalyst, first there will be elimination of one triphenyl phosphine ligand and will result in the formation of such tri-coordinated complex. It can be also written like this. Both are similar. And this tri-coordinated complex can undergo oxidative addition with the carbonyl compound present in the medium. That is, it can be aldehyde or it can be acyl chloride. And after oxidative addition, it will result in the formation of such 5-coordinated complex. Here rhodium is in +3 state. And in the next step, there will be reinsertion of this carbonyl group with the rhodium metal center and formation of rhodium carbonyl bond along with rhodium alkyl or aryl or alkenyl bond. And in the last step, there will be reductive elimination of this R group and hydrogen to form the corresponding alkane or alkene, or in some case arene moiety. And it will generate the tetra-coordinated rhodium complex, that is rhodium Cl PPH3 whole to CO, and this is a very stable complex due to the strong rhodium carbonyl bond. And for this reason, at room temperature, this rhodium carbonyl bond cannot be substituted by a triphenyl phosphine ligand to regenerate the catalyst, and hence this reaction cannot be performed in catalytic condition. That is, catalytic reaction at room temperature is not possible, and the Wilkinson catalyst used in these processes are used in stoichiometric amount or over stoichiometric amount. That is, this Wilkinson complex is used in one equivalent or more than one equivalent with respect to the aldehyde or acyl chloride complex, and this rhodium carbonyl bond can be cleaved at higher than 200 degrees centigrade temperature, but this higher temperature cannot be permissible, since at this higher temperature there may be decomposition of substrate as well as product, since the substrate may contain different functional group that may be hampered by this high temperature. So for this reason, in this reaction the Wilkinson catalyst is used in stoichiometric or over stoichiometric amount. Later, several improvements have been performed to make this reaction catalytic, and this can be performed in presence of rhodium 1 cationic complex and using diphosphine as a chelating ligand, that is DPPP, a chelating diphosphine complex, and using this complex and rhodium 1 cationic species, the Shoji-Wilkinson reaction can be performed catalytically. Now see few example of this Shoji-Wilkinson decarbonation reaction, and in later video I will discuss about other hydrogenation catalyst. This is some two selected example of Shoji-Wilkinson decarbonylation. Here we can see that this rhodium complex is used near about 1 equivalent with respect to the alpha beta unsaturated aldehyde, and if the temperature is higher than 100 degrees centigrade, then the stoichiometry can be reduced. Since at higher temperature, that is above 200 degrees centigrade temperature, the reaction can be performed in catalytic amount, but higher temperature may hamper the functional group present within the substrate or may lead to the decomposition of the substrate or also product. So in this case there will be decarbonylation instead of hydrogenation and will lead to formation of styrene. And similarly in this case there will be elimination of carbon monoxide and formation of benzyl chloride. These are the reference books for this chapter. So that's all for this discussion. In next video I will discuss about the ruthenium based catalyst or iridium based Crafts catalyst for hydrogenation. And thank you for watching. If you found this video as helpful, then like it and share this video, and please give your valuable comment so that I can improve my teaching quality. And if you are new in this channel, then please subscribe to my channel. Thank you.